Welcome back to the show. Today I am joined by Kyle Baxter, a physio, coach, and educator, and somebody with a ton of experience who bridges the gap between rehab and performance. What I like about Kyle is he walks the walk. He coaches, he trains, and he actually applies what he teaches. In this episode, we get into training, pain, and muscle building, and what people often get wrong when they try to fix themselves, instead of actually learning how to move and load properly. Let's get into it. I had a whole list of questions prepped for you, but I don't know a whole ton about where you went to school, and maybe just give me an outline of where you did physio school and how that led to where you are today. I know that's kind of hard to make short, but try.
I'll give you the super quick version. So
Yeah.
before physio school, I started in strength and conditioning for mostly hockey.
Hmm.
Taught at a college at the same time. Quit both those jobs. Went to a big box gym. Built a business there. Wanted to go to physio school, but I thought physio school was dumb because all the physios who I worked with, everything was really boring. My buddy applied in the UK. Um, I applied, got in, COVID happened. I was like, well, I guess I'll be a physio, but different. In the UK, when you're a physio, you're basically a nurse.
Okay.
So I worked on like the ICU and like ortho and like cardiac rehab and all these things. And then I was like, well, there's this telephone game between practitioners.
Hmm.
And if I just kind of like do everything, then everyone gets better care. So then I started doing my online thing where I kind of do everything except prescribe medication. So
That's pretty good. I guess that kind of led into my second question is what do you think the shortcomings are of traditional physio? And I guess you kind of hit it right there with,
I don't want to say it's hard because when you pay a lot of money for something,
yeah.
you're going to take it at face value. And like every physio, traditional physio, does the things that they're taught in physio school. Um, I think I guess problem is like it's taught as a flow chart,
Yeah.
right? See this, look at this research, this helps with this, not like based on principles.
Hmm.
So everyone, we're treating a problem, we're not treating a cause really. And understanding nervous system long term isn't really taught in physio school. So
Hmm.
we're looking for we're trying to change a symptom. We're not trying to change the cause of a symptom. I
Yeah.
would say the problem.
And I guess you kind of touched on the nervous system. Like many people, like I know family members, friends, whether somebody's a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, experience pain, and people don't really know what it is. So maybe if you could just give us a Cole's notes of what is pain from like a nervous system perspective, and like what are some of the things that you tell your clients so that they're not afraid of pain, right? And they're learning actually what it is.
Yeah. So I'll give you a parallel. If anyone listening has ever gotten drunk before and passed out, it is a behavior change mechanism so that you don't drink more and kill yourself. When your blood alcohol level is so high, your body says, you're so dumb, you're about to die. Let's black out so you don't drink anymore. Pain is pretty much the same. It's just it's a behavior change mechanism where your body tells you do something different. That could be because of tissue damage. That could be because the feedback from the periphery doesn't match up with what the brain thinks you should do. So then you experience symptoms. It could be because you hate your job. There was a study of like a bunch of office workers with back pain, and they surveyed like everything about their life, and the only actual correlation there was with job dissatisfaction. Like they looked at like posture, food, like activity
Yeah.
level, BMI, all these things, and it was like the only thing that had any correlation was job dissatisfaction. If you hate your job, you will have back pain, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a behavior change mechanism. It doesn't mean that we have tissue damage. It might, but if we think about things a little bit more, if we think about things at all, we realize like, oh, okay, like we probably don't have tissue damage. So someone will be
Yeah.
like, oh, like I bent over and I got back pain. Is my disc herniated? I'd
Yeah.
be like, I mean, maybe it might be, but here's the path of what's going to happen. If you think your disc is herniated, you could either do one of two things. We could treat it as a symptoms, get your movement better, etc., or you could get a scan. If you get a scan, it's going to tell you you might have a disc herniation. Then you're going to freak out. How do you fix a disc herniation? With surgery. Are you going to get spine surgery? No, we're just going to go back to the start. Let's not get a scan. Text me in 2 days. Tell me how it is. And then 2 days, they're like, oh, my back feels fine. So, yeah, pain is just a behavior change mechanism
Yeah.
that your body doesn't know how to, it's an output. It's not an input, right? There's no
Yeah.
pain receptor, right? We have everything coming into the brain. We have our past experience, et cetera, how we interpret all that. And then the output is pain. Same word output could be extensive muscle tone, tightness, etc. Like those are outputs, not inputs.
Yeah. And do you find that like people will come to you and they'll be experiencing pain and they're just trying to stretch everything, foam roll it, blast it with a massage gun, and they're not training properly or even training at all?
Yeah, I think the not training at all is usually not people like unless they're a referral because like I talk on
Yeah.
Instagram with people who train, but like I treat quote unquote normal people who don't train.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I kind of always give the example of like, oh, like I've been doing, this is what you hear all the time. My back flared up because I didn't do my physio exercises. I'm like, okay, so your physio gave you exercises and you're supposed to do them every day for the rest of your life, or else your back will not be in a place which you can exist without pain. This is what you're
Yeah.
telling me.
Yeah.
I'm very straight. I literally say this to people on calls, and they're like, as soon as I say it, they're like, okay, that doesn't really make sense. I'm like, all right, so this is what we're going to do. If I was to teach you how to play piano, I would teach you how to read sheet music, and then I would teach you the chords. If you just did that, would you be good at piano? No, you'd be terrible. That's the physio exercise.
Yeah.
You're just reading sheet music, and then you think you can play Beethoven.
Yeah.
But if we do some of that, and then we play some chords, and then we play Hot Cross Buns, and then we play Mary Had a Little Lamb, then we play Ode to Joy, then we play a more complicated song, then eventually you don't have to read sheet music.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that makes sense. And I'm like, okay,
And I guess, sorry, you go.
we need to do these things that are usually more passive, more boring, and then use that new range of motion in a more active task, and then it will stick around a little bit longer. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I'm like, cool, you should resistance train. Awesome.
Yeah. This made me think of when you talk about warm-ups and you use that reference of, Beethoven and whatnot. Do you think that, like, say for yourself or new trainees, like, do you think that warm-ups are necessary? Like for you, who would be Beethoven of the gym, right? Like, how to play all of these things. You don't need to practice, right? So maybe like if you could just touch on like if you think warm-ups are useful for beginners and then more advanced trainees.
I just with the warm up, it's like what are we doing with the warm up? Like that's always my question. It's like,
Yeah.
are we getting us access to more range of motion? That could be a reason to warm up, right?
Yeah.
For me personally, I pretty much can just move pretty well all the time, so I don't need that, right? Are we practicing movement patterns? Perfect. Like you're new at RDLs, you do 3 to 4 warm-up sets. All right, perfect. Like you're practicing a skill, you're getting coordination gains. That's important. Perfect. The big one is like increase muscle temperature. So if we're talking about gaining tissue, we have a higher turnover of ATP, ADP things if we have a higher temperature of the muscle. So I do think a warm up sets are necessary.
Yeah.
Extremely necessary. And if you want to know if you're doing enough warm up sets, do 2 sets at the same load. And if your second set is better, you didn't warm up enough. But warm ups in the typical sense of like foam rolling, stretching, etc. It's like, what are we doing with that, right?
Yeah.
Can I, if I stretch my hip out, and then I foam roll my hip, and then I do warm up sets of RDLs, could I gotten that same neurological response with just warm up sets of RDLs?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it comes a point where if you're a coach or a trainer or a physio, time is the only finite resource, and you're not in the market of helping people, you're in the market of helping people faster.
Yep.
Someone can go in the gym, and like, for a normal person, time is always a factor. It's like, hey, don't do these stretches, don't do this foam rolling, it takes 6 minutes. Just do warm up RDLs, and you get the same physiological response in less time. That's way more valuable to someone. So, is a warm up necessary? If it ticks a box that we need to tick, then yes. If not, then no. I do think, warm up sets are also always necessary, but warm up
those are necessary.
Is not always necessary. I don't warm up for a leg day. I just do hamstring curl right away. I go straight.
Those always feel good. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, that's good. Back to the point that you made about how you have limited time or like finite time with a client. So say somebody comes to you, like they only have an hour with you, right? Let's say they're a new trainee or even somebody that's experienced. Their goal is to improve their body composition, right? Like, are you like some coaches might have them learn squats for 6 weeks. Some, like you, will probably have them maybe hop on some more externally stabilized movements, build some tissue, and then you can learn those movements over time. Like, would you say that your perspective is like a balance of the two?
So I think if you were an in-person trainer, you have limited time with someone. You're selling a package, likely, right? Yep. You sell 12 sessions, you sell 24 sessions. If they don't see visual changes at the end of those sessions, you're not going to train that person ever again. So it doesn't matter if you teach them squats, right? We are time based. You're going to do as much externally stabilized output work as possible to get a hypertrophic response, because that is the main thing that's going to change someone's body comp. Unless they come to you and say, I want to learn how to do squats. Yeah. With online coaching, it's likely a more long-term thing. I don't have a 12-session cap. It's a little bit less time-based in terms of length of session, right? If you work at Good Life, you have 50 minutes, they show up 10 minutes late, you have 40 minutes. You're going to teach them how to squat? That's the entire session. What a waste of time, right? And they just want to look better. It's like, who cares if they can squat? They can leg press, and then that will translate over to a squat, and then they can hack squat, and they can translate over. If you are an online trainer, you can spend more time learning those coordination skills because you're just working with someone for longer, right? Like, I don't think I work with anyone. Well, now I might do like the 6-month minimum thing. I've never taken anyone's money more than 1 month in advance, but so like, I don't work with anyone shorter than 6 months.
Yep.
So I can teach. I can put squats in. I'm still going to put leg extension in.
Yeah.
Right. I think if you're an in-person trainer, don't give them a barbell in their first 24 sessions.
Yeah.
Unless they say, this is my favorite thing of all time, but they don't say that. They say, I want to get fit. I want to look better. Put them on machines, get as much as you output as you can. They will move better if you teach them how to use machines properly, and then you'll sell more sessions, and then the client will get more results. Not really about sales, but it is about sales, because if they don't buy again, then they're not going to get any results. They're going to quit and then be like, oh, I had a trainer once, didn't work. And then never have a trainer again, and then never work out, and then be unhealthy, and then they might have health problems. It's all because you try to teach them squats. So that's
would you say like, Would you say if like somebody has like no somebody doesn't have a personal trainer, they're just going to the gym by themselves and just starting out, like do you think that there's merit in for them to do more externally stabilized movements like say leg press and all of those and say build that tissue, then go learn it? Or do you think it's like because there's no trainer in this situation, right? Do you think it's
Yeah, I
fine
would say
if
start. So we coordination still exists on an externally stabilized implement, right? Have you ever seen someone new do a leg press? It looks horrible. It's all over the place,
yeah.
right? So it's like coordination still exists. Co-contraction still exists on these machines. And if you've done no exercising before, I'm going to put you in the best position, right? I trained a girl and her 1 rep max squat was one body weight squat. Literally one. I was
Yeah.
like, do 3 squats. And she crumpled on the floor after 2. And I was like, I had to reverse band the leg press with
Yeah.
no pin. Pin loaded leg press with no pin in.
Oh my gosh.
This person had eaten zero protein their entire life. They were like 23 years
Yeah.
old. So that person, their coordination was all over the place. It looked like they were getting blown over by a hurricane on the leg press.
Yeah.
And then by the end of a couple weeks, it looked like kind of like a normal leg press, right? So I think if you're just going in the gym, go read the instructions on the machine, watch a YouTube video, do something that feels good.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Then like you can learn these things later, but coordination gains still exist. You're going to get more out of your first 6 weeks of squatting if you've done 24 weeks of machines first,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're just not ready for it.
Yeah. That's a big takeaway. Yeah.
Coordination gains still exist on externally stabilized machines. That's the hot take. People are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's externally stabilized. The seat does everything." And I was like, "No, it doesn't. Like you still need to cope."
Still got to move well.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so.
No,
That's
that's good. Um, a new client comes to you.
yeah,
Let's say a beginner. Yeah, let's say like a more beginner trainee. They have some training experience. They do like they want to recomp. They have a bit of excess body fat. Are they hopping in a deficit immediately? Do you or do you keep them at maintenance for a while and then you make changes?
it depends on habits and timeline. If they have a timeline, is it ideal that their habits suck when they have a timeline? No. Is my job to get them results? Yes. I'm going to be very clear of like, okay, this isn't the time for you to make decisions. You're paying me to make decisions. For the first 4 weeks, you make no decisions. I give you a meal plan. You eat exactly what I say, and you lose weight faster than you ever would for your trip. How does that sound? You wouldn't be here if you didn't want results. We have a time-based goal. We're going to do this. I was like,
Yeah.
after that, you can make decisions, but your decisions got you to where you are now. So if they have a time-based thing, I might put them in a deficit.
Yeah.
If they don't, usually I wouldn't put them in a deficit because I just want to get some data. Again, like I work with people online,
Yeah.
and I want to make good habits, and I want them to eat better food.
Yeah.
Right? That's the main thing. Like, oh, I eat peanut butter all the time. It's like, do you know what peanut butter is? Not the best relative to other nut butters. Like, let's switch that up. Let's
Yeah.
not. It's like, oh, I'm really hungry, so I volume eat all the time, but I'm bloated. I'm like, let's not eat cognac noodles for your carb source every meal, which are 0 calories. Let's
Yeah.
actually eat some real carb source. Like, they're like, I don't know about that. Like, trust me, you'll be less hungry. Just like eat some rice and veg, not
Yeah.
just like cognac noodles and sauce. So like I would usually like at least 4 weeks of like I gather data. You need to be, and I kind of say like, you want to shred. Show me you have the habits to shred. Because if you're
Yeah.
all over the place, it's never gonna work. And I'm like quite straightforward. I'm like, if this happens, we can do this, right? I always set some sort of timeline, right? When I diet someone, I diet them reverse. I give them the
Yep.
lowest calories and the highest activity first in the first week. And I say, these are the numbers. When you hit this weight, we will give you more food. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And that gets them, like, anyone can do anything if there's a timeline, right?
Yeah.
I went to physio school and started an online business and worked in a hospital at the same time. And I was dying, literally dying, like physically as well.
Yeah.
But I knew there was a timeline. I was like, I just got to get to the end and then it'll get better, right?
Yeah.
This week, I have a super busy week. But my buddy's coming to stay with me. I was like, I just got to get to this day, and then it will get better, right?
Yeah.
So I think in person people they do either a good job or a bad job of giving them a timeline, because the package gives them a timeline. You work out 2 times a week for 6 weeks. You buy 12 sessions.
Yeah.
So like at the end of these, but they don't say at the end of these 12 sessions, this is what I want you to weigh. This is what I want. This is our projections. I think. That's the most important part, regardless of if I'm putting them in a deficit or not. Right away, usually habits first, or like even 2 weeks. Like I just need data. I have no idea. You've never followed the plan before, and then we can go into a deficit, depending on like how much they're eating, etc. But understanding that losing body fat is extremely easy. Gaining tissue is extremely hard. So this is what I say to people who like push the deficit. I say, and I had one guy, he said 30%. And I was like, if I was to snap my fingers and all your body fat was gone or enough, would you look the way you want to look underneath? Do you think you have enough muscle to look the way you want to look? And usually like I'll ask for like 2 little pictures of like, what do you want to look like? Like, give me a goal physique. And the guy was like, yeah, I'm maybe like 30% of the way there. I was like, perfect. Let's just keep you at near maintenance and gain a bunch of tissue first. And then when your habits are better, we'll shred down and you'll maybe be 60% of the way to what you want to look like. How's that sound? That's the question. Like, do you think that, so they show me a picture. I'm like, do you think you look like this under that? They're like, show me a picture of Chris Bumstead. I'm like, you look like this under that.
Yeah,
no. That's what you're telling me. I was like, let's focus on gaining muscle first so that your glutes aren't flat as a pancake when we cut down, because it's just fat now and your leggings are doing God's work. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And like, that's how I get people to buy into, like, they come in hard, like, I want to shred now. And I'm like, I pump the brakes. I'm like, do you look like you want to look underneath? Whoa.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, maybe not. I was like, cool, let's build muscle. Awesome.
Yeah. I think many people have this skewed view of what they're going to look like once they lose weight, right? And majority of people are under muscled, and they lose all that weight and then might not be satisfied with the look. Yes, they might feel better than they did before, but I think that many people just need to put on muscle, and not even just to be this bodybuilder guy, just for health.
Like they're definitely under muscled relative to what they think they want to look like.
Yeah.
Like everyone is you're way fatter than you think. Like I was like, oh, if I lose, like I started my prep at 95 kilos. I was like, if I lose 10 kilos, I'll be shredded.
Yeah.
I pushed hard down to 68 kilos from 95.
Yeah.
In like
That's
13 weeks. Don't do that. Don't recommend.
No.
And I was literally like fat free, but like I was pinned. I was small.
Yeah.
Obviously, I probably lost some muscle there because I like, pushed way too hard. But
how did your strength feel in the gym?
For the first, I kind of did it different. I fasted 2 days a week on my rest day, so then I could eat more on my training day, and still make the same deficit. It actually worked very well. And if you understand how muscle works, as long as we have a stimulus, we won't lose tissue unless we're burning it off, meaning I just need to make sure my heart rate doesn't go high. My strength was good until I had to drop a lot of weight very fast I did 2 shows, one at 80 kilos, one at 70 kilos, and I had to weigh in under 70, and I was like 86 kilos 10 days away. So I had to lose 16 kilos. We did some little bit of unhealthy things to get me out of the weight. But,
I'm sure. Yeah. How did you feel cognitively on those days where you're fasting?
Fasting is fine.
Yeah,
because I
fine.
know like it's time based,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just need to not eat till tomorrow. Then I get to eat, and I don't know. When I'm fasting, I'm like, as long as I have a timeline and a
Yeah.
reason. If I'm like today, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna fast. I have no reason to fast.
Yeah. You kind of just accept it and then you
Yeah.
don't think about it,
If
right?
I'm like, oh, like maybe I'll just eat later,
Yeah.
right? But if I'm like, I have this amount of time to lose this much weight. These are the, I'm very data driven. These are the numbers that make this deficit. If I eat food on this day, then I don't have the deficit, and then this happens.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, I don't know, it's fine. I think like the first day of fasting is the first time you ever do like a 24-hour fast, it's hard. And then you
Yeah.
realize like you have so much excess body fat stores, like it's just,
Yeah.
you're just mentally, you just tell yourself it's hard because it's different.